What is going on, everybody? Today we're looking at the Hasbro Star Wars Black Series little wave we threw together here. So from the Phantom Menace, we've got young Anakin Skywalker as well as Padme Amidala. So both of those look cool, getting two characters from the Phantom Menace, kind of celebrating the 25th anniversary of the Phantom Menace there. So both of those look awesome. And then from Attack of the Clones, we've got Ki-Adi-Mundi. So always awesome to get another Jedi Master. So Ki-Adi-Mundi looks awesome, especially with this head design. They did a really good job getting his species head design down. And then a new Phase 1 Clone Trooper. So another new Clone Trooper, but in the Phase 1 design. So we get that nice helmet there as seen in Attack of the Clones. And those look pretty awesome there as well. So like I said, just a small wave thrown together here of recently released figures that I am excited to check out. So let me get them open out of the box and we'll take a look at them together. So we're going to start off with little Anakin Skywalker, which is a young slave on Tatooine that was conceived by the midichlorians and born to Shmi Skywalker, but he freed himself from Watto's ownership by winning the Boonta Eve Classic pod race and then left Tatooine with Jedi Master Qui-Gon Jinn to become a Jedi himself. So this looks pretty cool, getting little Anakin. Nice to finally have him in the collection. Of course, he is small in stature, so when I bring in other figures, you will see how small he is, but overall looks pretty good, has a really good likeness to Anakin from episode 1. So there we get the face, of course, trying to look like Jake Lloyd, which doesn't look too bad. Just nice little face there, little kid face. Looks like he's got the freckles and stuff across his cheeks and nose there, so that looks good. With his bushier hair, so his blondish hair there, and like the bowl cut style or whatever it is, has that longness to it, but looks nice for that design. He's got the necklace around his neck so that he wears, and then his Tatooine clothes, so kind of like the cloth robes with the tannish cream color. So we get the shirt up top, like the tunic with a longer shirt, belt around his waist with the longer sleeves, and then the pants that come down, and then the shoes that are on his feet, and then the wrappings that go up to his knees as well. So they put all the little details of his outfits on here, and then even has the pockets there on the back of the belt as well. So overall, this Anakin looks really good. Looks identical to how he appears in the movie. But moon-wise, we get that that'll twist all the way around. Can look down that far and up that far. So relatively good movements. Of course, there's movements down the lower neck and upper neck. So we get both of those. The shoulders can come up to 90 and rotate around. We get the single elbow joint that bends to 90 with the rotation. And then the wrist will twist all the way around and hinge up and down. Of course, a little bit hard to hinge with the sleeve on it, but it still moves there a little. Then we get the ab crunch. So crunch back and forth and twist all the way around. So we get the movements in there for that. The hips will come up to 90 and out to the side. Pretty much can do the splits as well, so good movements there. Has a little bit of a thigh twist, just a little bit at the hip, but then we get the single knee joint that goes back to 90 with the rotation, and then the foot will flex back and forth and twist side to side. So decent movements overall. Of course, has the single knees and elbows as the Star Wars figures do, so could have better range, but for what he's got, not bad at all. Now, accessory-wise, unfortunately, with this figure being so small, I figured they would give us, more accessories or just something to go along with him to fill out the set, since you're paying the same price for bigger figures and he's a smaller figure. But the only thing that we get with him is his backpack piece that we can put on him. So just his little black backpack, that has all the little pockets and stuff sort of designs there. So we can put this onto his back. So there he's got the backpack on, and I think that looks pretty good as well. Like I said, completes that look of young Anakin, especially when they're running through the desert. And of course, they get ambushed by Darth Maul. But yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Kind of like get him in a running pose or whatever. But looks pretty good overall for Anakin. I like this design a lot, having the little kid version of Anakin. And of course, having him there, we can bring in our other versions of Anakin. So we have Anakin from episode 2 and episode 3. So we have all three forms from the prequel trilogy of Anakin. So that is really cool to have all three of them together. Really like having the young Anakin. Of course, you can see how small he is compared to the other two, so nice to have him in such a small form, and it's such a good looking figure. Like I said, I just wish we got more with it to help fill out the price point and everything, but just him with his backpack seems to be lacking in that respect, but it does look really good, and I love having this figure. And next up, we have Padme Amidala in her handmaid in disguise. Now, she's the Queen of Naboo during the Trade Federation blockade of the planet, where she was rescued from the planet by Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi and taken to Coruscant to inform the Senate and plead for help. But when the Senate refused, she decided to retake the planet herself with the help of the native Gungans as a distraction while she infiltrated the capital to capture Viceroy Gunray. So it's awesome to have her here. Again, we do have her though in the handmaid's outfit. It'd be awesome to have her in her classic classic, red dress design as Queen Amidala, but having her as this is pretty nice as well. So we get the face of Natalie Portman again, looks pretty decent there, very similar to the past Padme figure we had that I'll show you. So looks relatively nice there, pulls off her look, has her little mole and stuff, so good looking face overall for that. And then we get her hair back in just this bun design, so it's got multiple little bun pieces there, so looks relatively decent, again how it does in the movie. And then we have her outfit again disguised as her handmaidens or whatever, so trying to pretend not to be a queen at this point, but looks nice with this all maroon outfit. So we get the maroon shirt that has nice gold that goes up and around the arms, and of course that continues down the side of the dress material, whatever there, and it looks like she's got more of a pinkish color shirt on underneath that as well. We get a belt around the waist with a nice gold buckle, and then of course like a dress piece that hangs on there as well, attached to the belt, so that hangs off with like this long dress piece. But then she's got the maroon colored pants as well, so just all flat pants there, going down to the black boots on her feet. But I love how it's got the paint on it to show it's all dirty and everything, of course, from going out into the woods to meet up with the Gungans. So overall looks relatively nice, looks exactly how she does in the movie. Now movement wise, we get that little twist all the way around, and it can look down that far and up that far, so relatively decent movements. Again, it's got the two neck joints, the one where the head connects to the neck, and then the neck to the body as well, so you get those double movements in there. But then the shoulders will come up pretty close to 90, not all the way up, just that far, so just under a little, and can rotate around. We get the single elbow joint that bends to 90 with the rotation in it, and then of course the wrist will twist around and hinge up and down for this hand. Then we can go to the ab crunch. Again, it's pretty much at her waist, so she'll crunch back and forth and twist all the way around. And then the hips can come up that far and out to the side. Of course, with the dress, you can force it all the way out to there. A little bit of a thigh twist with that as well. But then we get the single knee joint that'll bend to 90 with the rotation in it. And then the foot will flex back and forth. Of course, a little stiff on this foot, but flex back and forth and twist side to side. So once again, decent movements. Got the same Star Wars movements, so not the best, but for what it's got, not bad at all. But for accessories, we do get an extra hand for her. So we do get a right hand with a smaller grip on it, so we can switch that out to be able to give her one of the weapons. So she has a wider grip for one of the guns and then a smaller grip for the other, but we can switch that out. And with that smaller grip, we can give her first gun of the ELG-3A blaster pistol, so just the little silver gun that she uses, so that looks nice. And again, with that smaller grip, it fits nicely into the hand, so with the smaller gun, it fits right in there. So now she's got that gun, which looks really good. Awesome to have that gun, which is what I will give her. But then she does also come with the S5 heavy blaster pistol, which is a gun of the Theed security. So I believe when they finally capture New Gunray, she goes over to a chair and pulls out these guns to give to the security. So we do have that gun as well. So again, with that other hand she had that had a bigger grip, we could give that to her. But like I said, for me, I want to have her with this gun because that's how I always picture her. So awesome having her with that design and that gun. And of course, we have had her before from episode 2. So there she is in that design. And of course, the white's always more iconic. But I think I like the head design more on this new one. It'd be cool if we could switch, which there's nothing stopping it. It's just the bun design. She didn't have it at this point. But I think the face overall looks much better on this newer figure than it does the other one. But this has always been my favorite Padme design outside of the red queen dress. So both look really nice, but this one definitely has a much better face design. And then the outfit looks good. Her disguised as one of her handmaids. So very good figure overall for this version of Padme. And next up we have Ki-Adi-Mundi, which is a Force-sensitive Siren. He's a Jedi Master that was a member of the Jedi High Council that aided in the rescue of Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Senator Amidala from the Separators' capture on Geonosis, beginning the Clone Wars, during which he became a Jedi General and participated in many battles, his last of which was leading the 21st Nova Corps during the invasion of Megiddo, but Order 66 brought his death at the hands of the clones he was leading. So overall, looks pretty awesome to finally have Ki-Adi-Mundi in a Black Series figure, getting another member of the Jedi Council, which is always awesome. And overall, he looks pretty good here. So they got his face there, so it looks nice, like the older man design that he's got with the white eyebrows and white beard, longer white beard there as well. And then, of course, his species with the weird, I always call it like cone head design. So the head comes up really high, and it has the hair with the ponytail off the back there as well. That's always fun. I believe it's in Attack of the Clones when he's fighting in the arena, when you see him and his hair sort of like flopping around. That's always funny to see to me, so it's nice that they threw in his hair there as well. But he's got his Jedi robes on, so he's got this nice cream color shirt on underneath, so it comes down to his arms, and then nice wrinkled design stuff goes up and has a collar around his neck, so that's nice to see that underneath his outfit. So then he's got this like robe or whatever sort of covering over the top in the brown color, has a hood on the back that's folded down there, and then has the split, you know, down the front, and then comes off to the side. So that's nice with a belt around its waist, of course, slot to hold his lightsaber, and just all around there has a pocket on the front here as well, so a little bag hanging off the front down to his darker brown pants, so just the baggier pants there, to his boots on his feet. I love that, have the cuff on there as well. So overall, a really nice design for him. They did a really good job carrying out his look. But moon-wise, we get that'll twist all the way around. Of course, with the collar and the beard and stuff, it'll be hard. Of course, you do see his neck sort of all twisting around there, but the head does twist around. You'll get that much. So it'll at least twist around side to side. He can look down that far and up that far. So again, decent movements with that head. Then the shoulders do come up to 90. It does have a butterfly joint, so it's kind of hidden there, but does move back and forth. And of course, can rotate around. We get the single elbow joint that bends to 90 with the rotation, and the wrist will twist all the way around. So this is one of like the ball joint wrists, so it just sort of goes in there in like hula, so you get back and forth, side to side, whichever you want it to be on. So just one of those newer wrist designs that work out relatively good. Then we get the crunch at the waist, so right at the belt, so crunch back and forth and twist all the way around. Then the hips will come up. Of course, you got to get all the shirt and stuff out of the way, but can come up at least that far, so close to 90, and then out to the side. A little bit hard to force it there again with the robes, so out that far at least. There's a little bit thigh twist up in there, and the single knee joint that bends back to 90 with the rotation. And then there also is a shin twist at the top of the boot, so that'll twist around with the foot that'll flex back and forth and twist side to side. So good movements once again, a little bit new movements with the shin twist and then that new wrist design stuff, but everything else works just about like all the other figures. And of course, with him being a Jedi, for his accessory, we do get his lightsaber. So we have his blue lightsaber, which looks cool. Of course, his specific hilt design. We can obviously take the blade out and hook that onto his belt, but let's go and just put the blade in his hand. So there's Ki-Adi with his lightsaber, which looks pretty good, all posed up there now, ready for battle. So that looks really cool. And now that we have Ki-Adi, we can bring in other members of our Jedi Council to throw in with him. So there's Ki-Adi with some of our other Jedi of Kit Fisto, Mace Windu, Plo Koon, and Aayla Secura. So those all look really cool together. It's awesome to start building out more of the Jedi ranks. I wish they would just continuously release more and more till we get a bunch of Jedi, because that's my favorite figures to get. So awesome to have Ki-Adi-Mundi now added into the collection. And finally, we have our Phase 1 clone troopers. So the clones were created by the Kaminoans off the template of Jango Fett in secret by Jedi Master Sifo-Dyas, and they were soldiers used by the Galactic Republic in the war against the Confederacy of Independent System droid army. So overall, looks pretty cool. Of course, we've had multiple clone troopers before. This is just another one with the newer body design for Phase 1 is all this is going to be. So we have our normal clone trooper, you know, all in the white armor with the black body glove, but with the Phase 1 design, so you can always tell that with the helmet design. So I always say where their chins come to the point, so they have more of that pointed face there, and then have the little fin on top of the head there as well, which looks pretty good. I always love how it has the little red detail there in the back, but it's some little gray as well with the black line. Of course, the visor, like T-visor coming down into the mouth design. Like I said, the black body glove, so you can see it from the neck all the way down the arms and on the legs there, with the white Phase 1 armor over the top. So probably the weakest and cheapest of the armor they had at that point, so it didn't stand up as well in battle, but they made the improvements to like the Phase 2 over the years. But has the belt around the waist with all the pocket designs and canisters stuff back there, but it looks just like the clone troopers we've had before, especially main body, really just switching out that helmet. But for movements, we get that'll twist all the way around. Of course, it does have the helmet on, so we can take that off to see the more Jango-like head there, so it looks good for that. But yeah, the head twists all the way around, and you look down that far and up that far. So again, not the best movements in the neck. The shoulders do come up to 90 with the butterfly joint back and forth, and can rotate around, and that shoulder pad will move with it. Do have a bicep twist and the single elbow joint that bends to 90 with the rotation, and the wrist will twist all the way around and has a hinge up and down for this hand. Then we get the ab crunch, so we'll crunch back and forth and twist all the way around. Then we'll get the hips that come up, especially turn out to the side up to 90 and out to the side that far. Of course, that thigh twist and the single knee joint that bends back to 90 with the rotation. and then we get the foot that'll flex back and forth and twist side to side. So the same movements, of course, we've seen this more recently with the clone troopers, especially more with Phase 2s. Like I said, the only real difference is the helmet design on this one, but everything seems to work out relatively good for this figure, no issues or anything. But as you saw, it has the helmet, so we can put the helmet back on so we can have our faceless clones that can go into battle. And for battle, they will need weapons, so we get our normal clone weapons. So first we get the DC-15A blast rifle, so we get the long rifle design as usual that we can put into his hand. And again, that's always my preferred weapon for the clone troopers. And then we do also get the DC-15A blaster itself, so the shorter handheld version we'll put in the other hand. So there's our clone trooper with both of those guns, and overall looks pretty good. Again, nothing too exciting with this, just another clone trooper. Like I said, we've been getting a lot of clone troopers, so nothing really new except that it is the Phase 1 version, but looks good the way it is here, again with that newer body with the single knees and elbows and all that. So it's just that newer design. And speaking of, we do have the older version that did have the like double knees and elbows. Of course, they didn't really bend too far overall, but just has that older design. Look how bad that visor looks on that one. It's crazy how old that looks. So there we've got the upgrade. So yeah, definitely needed an upgraded body compared to this older one. So nice to have that. I just wish we would have still had double knees and elbows, just with better range than that older one had, but not bad at all to get a Phase 1 version of the clone trooper. So there's our Black Series figures we looked at today with Anakin Skywalker and Padme Amidala from Episode 1, and then Ki-Adi-Mundi and Phase 1 Clone Trooper from Episode 2. So all four of these are really cool. Love having the Anakin and the Padme look nice there together. Of course, you can see just how short Anakin is compared to Padme, so that's a nice design there as well, showing how short they are then compared to our normal standard figure sizes of especially the Clone Trooper and Ki-Adi. Love having Ki-Adi. Always, like I said, love getting Jedi, so having another one added is awesome. And then always need new clone troopers always to build out those ranks and then have the better bodies of this new one. So four very good figures overall in my opinion that I highly recommend. But let me know what you thought of them though down in the comments. And if you enjoyed my review, let me know with that like, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button to see more. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.